Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. I today during lunch, actually it was a little earlier than lunch, but I was messing around online and I wanted to see, uh, what FECore has been up to with their new gyro set. Now, I want to say something here, and I want to caveat all this before I continue any further. Um, Number one, I love science. Okay, I love it when people put together devices to test things. I love the whole process of that. I love it. I think it's so awesome. And to be honest with you, this gyro that they've built is gorgeous. It really is. Okay, I mean it is a nice piece of machinery. What do you call it? And I think it's pretty awesome. And they seem to have some talented folks working on it. And I love that. Um, Now, of course, what they do with it and what they claim it does and what they claim it doesn't do, that's a whole different story. But I mean, the device itself is gorgeous. Okay. And I'm looking forward to finding out, if they're going to actually go through and do all this stuff correctly, which, so far the track record has been not. And now, and let me also say one other thing. Every invention has an inventor. Okay, now that inventor of any kind of great thing, that could be a university, that could be a corporation, or that could just be a dude with an idea and the ability to build it. Okay, I'm totally down with that. I mean, some of the greatest inventions through time haven't been by mass corporations and stuff like that. No, it's somebody with an idea and they made it work. And so that said, every every time you everything being invented. I mean, if I were to say that holograms were just invented, and let's say Sean invented them in his garage, okay, that could be entirely possible. I mean, it's just he would have to have the right idea and the equipment to do it. Now, what I'm about to show you here is is that well, this is taking it slightly far, but I just want to say that now, Sean, I need you with your mic on.
I'm on.
Because I got to hear your reaction to this. Sean doesn't know what I have not briefed Sean as to what's being played today. Did you know that they have this gyro is an anti-gravity device?
Not this claim again.
Oh, no. This gets better.
Okay.
This gets better. Okay. Looking through the comments today on this particular video, which is Gyro Modifications and Improvements, July 2019, Ola, who is also in the chat right now, Ola had posted a comment, and his comment was let through. Now, oops, I can't do that. You're gonna love this, man. You really are. Okay, so Ola turned around and said, just out of curiosity, how are you going to reduce friction on the bottommost bearing? Meaning this guy right here, the thing holding up all the weight of the gyro. Okay?
Right.
You're with me so far, right?
Yeah.
He said, since you're loading up the gyro with now more weight, he's talking about the lasers and stuff like that that's being put on this for measurement reasons. Since you're loading up with more weight, the overall friction will increase. Now remember, these guys said that they were not going to do friction tests until after they debunked FECore.
Right.
Okay, that's a quote, by the way. They said, I got all kinds of quotes all over the place here, but where was it? No, not that one. Friction tests will come after the debunking of Leon Foucault gyro myth. Okay, this was said to me personally. Okay, now in other comments, though, he put, so far friction tests are looking good, but we need to add lasers to get more accurate measurements when doing the friction tests.
Oh,
why?
God.
Why would you need lasers to do the friction tests?
Lasers can't measure friction.
Yeah, I mean, you basically just need to put little weights and try and set the thing off balance and find out how much weight it takes to do that. Or any number of other things. Lasers are unimportant at that point. Okay, you are looking for it to move. That is movement, therefore overcoming friction. Okay, and then what do you call it? They also said the purpose of these tests is to show Leon Foucault gyro story is a fairy tale. Regardless of the yet to be shown friction tests, which they haven't done, there is just no way on Earth or elsewhere he could have detected a consistent drift with his inferior gyroscope. Now, that might be a valid point. Okay, the inferior gyroscope, which is what they're really trying to run with. Mm-hmm. Okay, that might be a valid point. Okay, but at the same, and we have no videos of it. We don't have the actual gyro. I mean, obviously, we don't have very much to go on there. But the fact that you can repeat tests is where you get your information to test whether that's valid or not. And to be 100% honest with you, if you wanted to make a gyro that doesn't move, that's not difficult to do. Okay, you just need to have too much friction, period. Okay, but anyway, back to the thing. Now, and he also asked. He also put. Ola also put on here. You should design gas lubricated bearings. Okay. I'm not very familiar with that particular form of engineering, so I'm not even going to comment on that. But are you ready for the reply?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, no, but it's coming anyway. So
okay. Oven mitts on, everybody. The mass of the flywheel creates an almost weightless suspension on the bottom bearings.
Oh my God, no. No.
So far, friction tests are looking good, but we need to add lasers for more accurate measurements when doing the friction test. Yes, so the words were, the mass of the flywheel, well, here. The mass of the flywheel creates an almost weightless suspension on the bottom bearings.
Okay, I'm going to point Mike Kavanaugh to Veritasium.
Well, hold on. Now what they used. Now, you and I both know that it's tantamount to suicide to actually one source your information.
Well, it's just a good source for showing it in action that Mike is full of shit.
Well, yeah, but I mean, one sourcing your information, and I will even say, even for me, if I go to a single source for my information, then I'm not doing due diligence on what it is that I'm researching. And so they put this link as part of that comment. Now, this link goes to, where is it? I have it here. Okay, this link goes to this video. Okay, Professor Eric Lathwaite gives a demonstration of how a large gyro wheel. And it's the whole thing. It's the whole discussion of the torque that you have to put onto the bar holding a heavy gyro to hold it in place because it's heavy. However, when you spin up the gyro and you turn it in a certain direction relative to the direction that the wheel is actually turning, then the precession will help you out in the torque. But at the same time, the gyro and the bar remain the same weight. It's just easier to lift over your head.
Well, it's not even lifting it though. It's the actual precession pushing it up.
Right.
It's not reducing the weight overall. It's still 40 pounds in your hand.
Right. Now, Red, you just joined us, right?
I just joined us and I'm driving. What do you want?
You want to hear a great quote from FECore?
Depends. Will it make me crash my car?
It might make you want to.
It might make you want
to.
Or go
okay, I might be able to hold myself back temporarily. Maybe. I'm not sure. There is a school bus that's laying off kids now, so do it now.
Okay. FECore says, with their gyro test, when they were questioned about the friction on the bottom bearing increasing as they're adding more items to the gyroscope, the response from FECore was the mass of the flywheel creates an almost weightless suspension on the bottom bearings.
That is the stupidest shit I have ever heard in my entire life.
Mike Kavanaugh, I I propose to you to test this claim. Put your gyro on a scale. Spin it up. See if the weight changes. You dumbass.
Now, there's also several videos, and I was going to show those. There's several videos of people actually showing that very thing. But instead of just getting somebody else to show it, how about I show it? You see, because I happen to have one of those super precision gyroscopes. Now, for the purposes of this test, I'm not going to need a whole heck of a lot of stuff. All I need, okay, y'all can see this, right? All I need, let me go ahead and take this off of here because I had it set up for something else. I have a small scale here, and I have the super precision gyroscope, okay, which I'm actually working on another project with, which you see behind my hand. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do, seeing that we're not worried about, this thing's not going to be rotating or anything like that in any kind of horizontal or anything like that. We're not spinning that part up. All we're doing is spinning up the flywheel in a vertical configuration. So let's go ahead and check this. Ready? Now I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, and then I'm going to turn this on. Now, because I turned it on with the device on there, the weight is actually going to be 0. Okay, it's just like tearing it out. Hold on a second here. Let it focus up. Okay, 0, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this back here again.
Take the weight off and show the scale so that people don't think that we're fooling people.
Oh, okay.
Wow, there's a throwback to somebody who's actually paid attention to your videos. In the chat, Edward Anderson, is the weight going to be 18.5 grams?
That's somebody who's been around for a while. Anyway, yes, this is a scale. Now you can see that. Now that I've taken the weight off, okay, you can see that it's 195.86. Okay, that was the weight of the entire assembly.
Yay!
Okay. You happy now, Red?
I am very happy. You may proceed.
Okay, so I got this on here. It's back at 0. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Dremel and fire this thing up. And now we're all going to be witnessing anti-gravity or levitation here. Ready? Let me go ahead and spin this up.
Because that's how it works.
Dumbass.
Okay, now it's spinning up pretty fast. And what do you know? It's still at 0.
Who would have fucking thunk it? Wow, really?
Now ready?
And Mike Kavanaugh's claiming to have an education.
Now I'm gonna pick this up, hopefully without breaking anything here. Well, I got shit all over the place here. Hold on.
And these motherfuckers claim to be engineers of some kind?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now you see that just returned down. All I did was I just picked the thing and lifted it up off the scale. I'm going to go ahead and put it back down on the scale. We'll put the precession to the right direction. And it's back at 0. Like how I put that little slice bar cane in there with my 3D printer. So, no, it doesn't put a weightless or near weightless suspension on the gyro.
The flat earthers out there, they now think anti-gravity is a thing.
Only with gyros.
Only with gyros, man.
Only with gyros because reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, if you get a 1-ton gyro and spin it up and place it on top of your car, you can fly it around. Apparently,
that's it, man.
So that's oh. You know, I always wanted a car with vertical takeoff.
So
okay, so I currently made it to the bathhouse. I'll call you when I mean the Walmart. I made it to the Walmart. I'll get back to you. Bye.
Now, just while I have this camera on here, I just wanted to show something here. This is something that I'm actually working on. I've actually been working on this off and on for about a year now, trying to figure out exactly how to do it, and I might actually have it narrowed down. What I'm trying to do is build a frictionless gimbal for my gyro to perform this very activity. Now, what I have here is 3D printed. They're kind of like capsules over each end. This is a very fine needle. I don't know if you can see that in the stream, but there's a very fine needle sticking out the end of this here, and it's only sticking out by, well, I can give you an exact measurement, by about 7 millimeters. Then in this portion here, there's two small magnets, ring magnets. In this portion here, there's also 2 small ring magnets. And then I built this contraption so I could actually adjust where all the magnets are located. And what I've ended up doing now, right now, this is based on the same thing that gives you the levitating pen. And where's the little dot in the middle? I can't see it very well. Well, let me go ahead and just basically put this up here. And what I have here is, because of the 2 magnets that are up top here and the 2 magnets that are down here, they're counteracting to the magnets that I have in the capillaries. As you can see, it's just kind of waving back and forth all by itself right now because of the fact that it is not properly balanced at the moment, because I took the balancing weights that I was using on it off so I could do this other test. But it is actually hovering. Hold on. See if I can get this to. As you can tell, I didn't rehearse this shit. So, where is it? There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn this to the side, and you will be able to see that it is actually not touching the mount at all.
Well, it is a gyro, and even though it's not spinning, it's obviously anti-gravity. So
yeah, anti-gravity. Now, as you can see, it's not touching the mount at all, with the exception of that little needle all the way down there at the bottom. Now, I'd love to spin it up for you right now, but as you can see, it's wavering back and forth because I have these screws on the bottom. I do not have it balanced at the moment, and that's been the I don't know if I'm ever going to get it perfectly balanced. That's become the challenge on this thing, is because either a bar will be sitting just like a half a fraction of a degree off, and it causes a sag in the middle, which makes it off balance or whatever. But balancing is everything to this test, and unfortunately, it just hasn't that hasn't come completely all the way around yet. But as you can see, I could just spin it, and that'll. To be honest with you, right now, mine completely off balance, just rotated more times than fucking the end of test 8 by FECore. So that tells me that even unbalanced, mine has less friction than theirs. So, but I just thought I'd point that out. This is my little bit of engineering. And by the way, this is right now perfectly at 50 degrees, which is to my latitude. And
here's a question, Sly.
What's that?
Have you tried putting a magnet instead of that bottom pin?
Well, you see, that's what I'm working on. This holder that I printed here actually is supposed to hold a ring a ring magnet, and then this right here, if I can get a little closer here, this right here is what's actually goes on to the end of that there, and that ring. Then I have this. Well, actually, this isn't the piece. This is the leftover piece, but I have another piece floating around here somewhere. It's a little piece of plastic just for alignment, but it will fit well within the ring of that magnet, and well within the ring of this magnet that normally sits there. Right now, it's a disc magnet. It's just a standard solid disc, but there's usually a ring magnet there, and that's what I've been trying to get balanced out so that this stick goes right through the middle of it, and and then use 2 counteracting magnets to hold itself up. That's what I've been working on for the past, actually for about the past 3 weeks now, and trying to get that balance perfect. But what I'm going to have to do is this right here is just basically the concept. I'm going to have to reprint all these. to get them into a more balanced fashion, and also a more perfectly aligned fashion. So yeah, that's becoming the amount of fun that I'm having. And yes, I bought myself a compass so that when I actually go to do this, I will actually be able to point it in the right direction and all that other neato stuff. So it's, yeah, lots and lots of fun. So does anybody see FECore in the chat yet?
I haven't.
Okay.
I'll just check the last 5 minutes and just to make sure I just didn't miss them.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Polar aligned is what this is going to be. The 50 degrees, basically, for those of us in the northern hemisphere, well, actually, I think it's the southern hemisphere as well. Just they point in the opposite direction. Your latitude is what this angle needs to be, because that will be parallel with the axis of the Earth, and what do you call it? And then this whole assembly needs to point north, as in due north, geographic north, and not.
Another question for you, Sly.
What's that?
Since they're actually dealing with the friction issue, which was brought up, have they actually responded to anything about the motion of the gyros that they've already shown?
Well, you see, that was the funny part. They kind of ducked that, except for the fact that in my comment section, as a matter of fact, I didn't copy that comment out because I covered that last time, but I'll go ahead and bring it up. In my comment section, this was the exchange. Now it's backwards. I don't know why in the control panel now these things come up backwards. This was the first response to my original post, and then it gets earlier as it goes up. Before I had made my video, I made my first video basically about these two, his reply and then my reply to him, where I'm Dunning-Kruger and all this other crap. He came back after I made the video that showed the movement that was in the gyro, and that was just the start and end captures. That wasn't the full video that I had done. He come back and he says the precession has been both in both directions, which was not true, which could be attributed to imbalance, turbulence, or vibrations.
Oh, good Lord.
And then he says you attribute it to the rotation without any friction tests showing it's capable of consistent precession. Well, gee, before that, you specifically said that friction tests will come after the debunking of FECore.
I'd also like to point out yet again that FECore did a response saying that there was no movement at all.
Oh yeah, that was under test 2, because test 1 they disabled the comments, and the whatever it was, gyro porn, which was one of the more recent ones, they disabled the comments on those as well. I don't know why you're disabling comments and stuff like that, because you seem to have no problems deleting people's comments. As a matter of fact, where was that quote that I pulled down? Let's see here. No, that's not it. Oh, this is it right here. F.E. Perth had said, love the lack of comment from Globers who request science, then ignored science when it's presented. Of all people to say that. What do you call it? FECore responded, they tried, but due to the lack of insight, experience, and qualifications, I am forced to delete most of their comments because I do not want to waste our time having to explain basic gyro 101 stuff. And yet their understanding of basic gyro 101 is this, for one. The mass of the flywheel creates an almost weightless suspension on the bottom bearings. That's their gyro 101. Okay, there's some more gyro 101 here. Let me go through this here. Where was it? They are at 48 degrees latitude, right? They responded to me, if you wanted 15 degrees on the z-axis, you would have to tilt the base of the gyro. by an amount relative to your latitude, which is true. And then he says, which with this 2-axis gyro would be impossible.
Not true.
Not true. You telling me you can't stick a I don't know, a pack of cigarettes under the corner of that thing to lean it?
Again, Mike Kavanaugh, here's a little tip for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you polar align a gyro, you're only going to find rotation on one axis.
Mm-hmm.
So with the 2-axis gyro, it is entirely possible to tilt your gyro and find that rotation of 15 degrees per hour. You're a dumbass.
He responded to somebody else. He says, "No worries. We will point it also to the north in future tests." What they did was they pointed the axis of the flywheel north.
Oh God!
And that's all they did, which is still not going to get them anything of what they're looking. But what's funny is that he actually understands some of this stuff. He says 15 degrees per hour on the z-axis would only be on the North Pole.
Unless you polar align it, then it will be anywhere in the world.
Right. But, only on the North Pole. But yet so right here, what he's actually admitting here is that their gyroscope sitting on that table, okay, and I can show, and they're all sitting the same way, it's just rotated in a different direction. Okay, here. They're all sitting like this. This would, as per these words, and this is from FECore, they said that. Oh, shit, I just covered it up. As per FECore, 15 degrees an hour on the z-axis, which is the rotational axis, which is what they have their needle measuring, would be on the North Pole. Well, are you on the North Pole? No, you are at 48 degrees latitude. Not even close.
Again, just pointing back to FECore knows they're full of shit, and they are actively committing fraud.
Right. Oh, by the way, all that stuff about being a nonprofit and stuff like that, that's all gone from the website.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, so yeah, it's been for profit this whole time. Thank you, Mike, for finally busting up.
Right.
So what do you do about all those donations that people took under good faith that you were going to be a 501c3? Yeah. Are you gonna give those donations back because they can't use that as a tax write-off now?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you've committed tax fraud.
Bitches.
Well, welcome to the world of federal prison, bitch.
Yeah. Now, what do you call it? And then he also responded. He says, when the plane of rotation is horizontal, what do you call it? Which would be at the North Pole or the South Pole, respectively. When the plane of rotation is horizontal, then the gyro experiences resistance at the z-axis, which is what would cause this needle to move. However, this is supposed to be tilted 48 degrees.
48.21.
Yeah, 48.21. Thank you. And it's not. Are you kidding me? Right? But all I have, these are all responses that that FECore has offered to their viewers on their channel, unless I identify otherwise, the ones that were actually given to me on my channel, which he hasn't returned. Go figure. What do you call it? Let's see here. When he was asked by Taboo Conspiracy, was there any rotation? He said none. Okay, the things moved. Period. I showed it to you. Don't lie to your people, man. Let's see. And then,
oh God.
Let's see. We tested different lubricants, and we got the best results, meaning that the longest run times we could, with a completely dry and clean bearings, but with a little WD-40. Grease is obviously too thick. Okay, cool. That's how they got their best results. Fine. That's how that you got your best results. And obviously, grease is too thick. What do you call it?
Well, here's the problem. WD-40 is a degreaser. It is literally the exact opposite of a lubricant once it evaporates, which happens very rapidly.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and then here's, I love this. He said this to me. Let the professionals deal with the analysis. You and your posse are truly a disgrace for anyone proclaiming to have a scientific or engineering background. Here's the joke. First of all, I've never proclaimed to be an engineer. Okay, I am a network engineer, which has nothing to do with mechanical stuff. Okay, that part is true. Okay, so I've never made that claim, nor have I claimed to have a scientific background. Okay, I just enjoy building shit, figuring stuff out, and seeing how stuff works. So that gives me, with the years that I have done that, and the years that I have built things and fixed things, I can tell that your gyroscope is not only inadequate, it's a beautiful machine, but it's inadequate, and the method in which you are using it is fraudulent by your own admission. Okay, but you guys are the ones who are claiming to be field engineers core. And I think somewhere on your site it says, we are a bunch of independent engineers. Okay. Now, you built a nice gyroscope, but you have no fucking clue how to use it.
No, I'm going to say it again. They know exactly how to use it. He's actually confirmed it with his own posts. Mm-hmm. He's just not doing it because it disproves his bullshit.
And this is why I keep coming back about the friction claims. This thing, as beautiful as it might be, and yes, there is even, what do you call it? Where is it? There is another picture of, well, they have another one. It's called gyroscope porn, and what do you call it? Which is basically they're showing off their gyroscope, and that's cool. Like I said, the device itself and the electronics that they're trying to put on there with the motor and all this is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. You can just only sit there and drool over it. It's so nice.
What the hell is the black ring they put around the gyro?
I think that's probably to block air, but I really don't know, to be honest with you. What do you call it? But to block wind, because they have the drill holes in the sides for balancing. But it looks like those drill holes are visible, so I don't really, honestly, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no clue. Or maybe it's just for safety. Because, get that thing spinning around and then you go to, touch it or something like that, and it'll probably roll your finger right off.
Well, I'm just looking at the mounting brackets on it and getting a little worried.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, he moved it around on, I think it was test 8. Hold on a second here. I'll just, where is it? Test 8. Jeez. Oh, and by the way, anybody who wants to watch these videos, you'll notice how loud that damn thing is. Okay, so to be honest with you, friction is a thing, and I mean it's stupid loud. Now I thought, didn't they have it right towards the end of it?
I'll just say friction leads to two things: heat and sound.
Oh no, he doesn't have it on this one.
Well, he's got it sitting off to the side. Maybe it's a thing to keep it, from getting damaged while it's being moved.
Well, that's entirely possible. Like I said, I don't have any really negative things to say about whatever the purpose of that guard is. What do you call it?
I think it's just a stabilization guard when they're actually moving it around physically.
Yeah, that could be.
I can totally see and understand that.
But I mean, like I said, let me go over to the where's it at? Porn one. Nerds R Us, FECore, whatever. What do you call it? They're doing just kind of a show off of the device, and I think they show the motors that they have for it and stuff like that. I mean, this is the motor setup that they're going to be having for it, and what do you call it? I mean, like I said, it's gorgeous. Okay, you will not hear me complain about that. But the thing is that, like I said, it is very easy for it not to do what you are claiming it is showing you by not doing what it's supposed to do. It's very easy for that to occur. Okay, and that is because of friction and being completely aligned wrong and all that other shit. And by the way, it wasn't processing in different directions as so stated. It always processed in the same way. Bottom towards, the disc was bottom towards and top away. And go figure, that's what you would expect to see. Now, obviously, it comes up short on doing a 15 degree per hour or its equivalent in the amount of time that you're doing the test. And I've stated that many times. But nevertheless, you can't make fraudulent claims like that. You just can't. I mean, I guess flat earthers dig it, but, whatever. So, ultimately, once again, this was originally just about this comment. These are the engineers and the experts.
Gyroscopes 101.
Okay. The mass of the flywheel creates an almost weightless suspension on the bottom bearings. Even using the word almost is not true.
Not even a little bit, Mike.
Not even a little bit. And I just showed you down to the 10th of a gram on mine, mind you. He did make another. Yeah, there was another comment below that. Hold on a second here. Because this went a little bit further. Whoever Cactus Logic is had said that the mass of it was just saying that's not even true. It would be the same amount, and they were telling him basically that he needs to put him and his gyro on a scale and weigh it and all this. What do you call it? And then whoever Paffy the one also said the same thing. You can measure it by standing on a spinning wheel. How much is the difference? FECore. I'll ask Stefan to do this test.
So he's made the claim without even knowing if it's true or not.
Without even knowing.
And he's going, oh my God.
And this is, once again, this is just like his previous claim. We'll do the friction test after we debunk FECore.
Well, do me a favor, go back to that comment where he admits he deletes them and why.
That was the FE Perth comment right here.
Due to the lack of insight, experience, or qualifications, he's forced to delete most comments because he doesn't want to waste their time having to explain basic gyro 101 stuff. Mike, why haven't you deleted your own comment? You lack the insight, experience, and qualifications about gyro 101 stuff.
So, yeah, you should be kind of deleting yourself. Kind of almost like Slappy McGee should be, kicking himself off of his own hangouts because he swears. What do you call it? And then Ola turned around and gave him a more modern video, which I had actually seen well before any of this. What do you call it? And it's a guy doing the same experiment that the gentleman did on the other video, with just a little bit deeper explanation, and also did the weight test. As in lifting the one-sided bar above his head, and to see if the weight changed, and the weight was basically the same with the exception of the minor accelerations of him pushing against the bar to lift it up, and that was it. And what do you call it? And he turns around and says, "Did you watch the video?" Which I believe he's talking about the one that Ola put in. He says, he said, and I quote, "The apparent weight seems to be much lighter. Of course, on a weight scale, the mass is still the same, but the weight in this case is not just mass times gravity," wherever he got that from. Now, this right here, this was a quote in the video. What do you call it? The suspension is being lifted by the flywheel, which if you would put a pressure sensor on the bearing of the pressure, on the pressure or force, on that bearing, the pressure or force would decrease, effectively decreasing the weight or load on the bearing. He just said that it doesn't change, and then in the same post says it changes.
Sorry, I'm late. I'm back from the bathhouse. I mean Walmart.
Yeah.
Did you just go do your laundry?
Anyway, what did I miss?
And then he says, "I need to add this to the friction detection tests." That was the end of that comment stream. But no, we're just laughing at the hypocrisy and stupidity, yet engineering know-how of FECore.
Oh God.
Is it the engineering know-how? Is it? Can you laugh at something that doesn't exist? I guess.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course you can. But so that's just how all this has gone down. They're claiming to be these big time experts on this and that and all this other stuff, and I'm a posse of trolls, and I have a posse of trolls or whatever, and but they claim, even though you can test it, they claim that it's going to put less pressure. The gyroscope puts less pressure on the base bearings when it's spun up.
Here's the thing that he's not understanding. Any weight that's on the base bearing is going to be translated to the base. That's why the weight doesn't change, you dumb ass.
Yeah. So, I mean, really, this is just it's so stupid.
Here's something you can do to test that little hypothesis there, Mike. Don't even bother spinning your gyro up, or you can do it while it's spinning and use your little guard on it so you don't like rip your hands off. But get it going and then try to lift up the axis of the gyroscope, the horizontal bar that it actually rotates. And you'll see that the weight changes on that scale. But if you let go of it, it goes back to its original weight because the weight on the bearing is not affected by the spin of the gyro.
Tell you what, I'll say it to you like this because I just demonstrated it. And to any flat earthers that I might have listening, feel free to bring this along to FECore and any of the members of FECore. I will delete my channel tomorrow or the tomorrow after you complete this little task. Put your thing on a scale. Put your entire assembly on a scale. Show the weight, and then in the same camera view, spin it up, and then show the weight again. If that weight changes to your near weightlessness, okay, which is your claim. Okay, your claim is the mass of the flywheel creates a almost weightless suspension. Okay, which would mean that there would have to be a considerable difference. I'll say, let's just go for. Would you say half would be fair, Sean?
I would say 10% would be fair.
But we'll give them 20%. No, actually, that's going the wrong direction, isn't it? I'll tell you what. FECore.
If they can demonstrate a near weightless environment by them spinning a flywheel, I'll eat my undershorts.
And I want to have them patent that for flying cars because that's all it would take would be a gyroscope.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why are they leaving the friction test to the end? Well, yeah, that's open to discussion, but the points are pretty obvious. The FECore, Mike Kavanaugh, Bob Nodell, Jaronism, Karen B, and whoever else might be on that. Those are just the names that I remember. Put your gyroscope on a scale at rest. Film that. Then spin it up in the same clip. If that weight changes, and then obviously release yourself, release the motor and let it still. If while that thing is spun up, that weight changes by 10%, and I want accurate measurements. If that changes by 10%, I will delete my channel tomorrow or the tomorrow of that test.
Jesus Christ.
That's me saying that. So anybody who's listening to this, feel free to echo that that claim and that challenge to FECore. And I'm going to tell you what. Because they seem to hate me so much, and I'm what were the words that I am? You and your policy are truly a disgrace to anyone proclaiming to have a scientific or engineering background. Let the professionals deal with the analysis. Tell you what, you analyze that, you perform that very test, and you put it up in a video on your channel, on the FECore channel, with this statement that you had stated right here, saying that the mass of the flywheel creates an almost weightless suspension on the bottom bearings, which means the weight would change. Okay, a lessening of the pressure on the bearings is going to lessen the weight. That's the only way that works. You do that, and you show me a 10% difference in that weight on that same table in an uncut video, and I will delete my channel.
I want my flying car, damn it.
So, to any flat earthers that I have listening, feel free to pass that along. And I want it on the FECore channel, and not because they have a particularly high sub rate, because that seems to mean something to flat earthers. Like who was it? Riley said the other day, I don't respond to people who have less than 5 subs. Okay, well, here's the funny part. FECore is claiming to be this large scale multinational organization. They take in money, they take in all kinds of things. They have an office in a place that used to be a church and shit like that. I got 5 times their subscribers. So go figure. Okay, I guess people ain't digging your gyro porn that much. So go ahead, do that test, do that challenge. I want to see it live. Well, live as in a single uncut video. You show me a 10% difference, I'll delete my channel. Cool? So
I can join you on that, mainly because I know Jeranism has a massive hate boner for me. So,
well, Jeranism just hates me because he tried to call me a liar one time, and we called him out on every single point. And he's still mad about the fact that he thinks that spacewalks are done in a pool, and I showed him that's impossible. And then he said, I showed him what was necessary about the face mask thing, and he still, to this date, has not backed up his claim of, they used bigger helmets.
Well, I just did some fact checking. FECore has removed all claims of them working on or being a 501c3, except one. And that was their last update about the 501c3 status, saying that they're still trying for it. There's no update saying that they've stopped trying or were denied.
Mm-hmm. So it's one of those, keep donating to us and we might think about paying taxes on it.
Well, it's not just them not paying taxes on it. It's the people who donate are expecting to get a form saying that they get a tax exemption for donating to a 501c3.
Cap Scar in the chat, didn't he call you a baby eating demon? No. He said I worship pedophiles and baby eating demons. That's what he said. But he doesn't insult people.
He doesn't insult people. Oh wow,
those were his words, man. His words.
Oh, I know. I remember that. I remember that show. I remember when we had that hangout discussing it.
And remember when Bob said that I called him a retard and I didn't, and called him a loser and I didn't.
We've asked them to justify a lot of their claims, and let's just say we have continuously been disappointed. Mm-hmm. So to ease their immense butthurt and their hate boner for basically all of us, I'm willing to join you, Sly. If they can demonstrate a weightless environment, or what did you say, 10%, 20%?
A 10% reduction in weight of that gyro assembly sitting on a scale.
Yes,
when it's spun up versus when it's at rest. I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see that too. So if you can demonstrate that, I'll delete my channel. And no offense, but I got more subs than all y'all.
Fuck you. No, but that's just it's just the posse is in. But it's I don't even know where to go with that level of ignorance right there.
No,
I know where they can go.
It's not ignorance, it's absolute dishonesty.
Yeah, I know where they can go. Ooh, Sly, me. I know where they can go.
Where?
They can do something that's very very rare for the flat earther group. They can be like, oops, sorry, we fucked up.
No, that'll never happen.
I know that'll never happen, but they could go there. It would be nice.
Yeah,
be like, hey, us here at FECore would like to apologize for screwing the pooch this bad.
And by the way, given the amount of slack that I got from from flat earthers about my large test about, are you going to give back the money? Yeah. FECore, how about you give back your money?
Yeah, for all those people that donated thinking they were going to get a tax write-off, how about pay all them buggers back?
Yeah. And for all those people who donated thinking that you were going to do something honest. To me, that's worthy of a refund alone. But nevertheless, guys, that's all I really wanted to do tonight. Sorry that it went on as long as it did, but I mean, it's just there's just so much stupidity in just those tests. Okay, so much ignorance, so much hypocrisy. Okay, and by the way, I did offer them the chance. Let me go ahead and show this, just because I can, because that's what honest people can do. Let me go get my comment section back out again. Where is it? There it is. I had offered them the chance. This was this afternoon. I put on your FECore, and like I said, this stuff comes up backwards in when you sort it by video in your control panel. But it says, well, since you have me blocked on your site because you refuse to address critical analysis of your work, it is my intention to make a video today about this comment in your comment section. And then I quoted the comment. The mass of the flywheel creates an almost weightless suspension on the bottom bearings. So far, friction tests are looking good, but we need to add lasers to get a more accurate measurement when doing the friction tests.
Everything needs lasers.
But lasers make everything more scientific.
Freaking laser beams. But what do you call it? I said I would love to have you. I would love for you to elaborate on that because it is the most hysterically inaccurate comment I've heard in a while. In quite a while.
These jackasses claim to be engineers.
Yeah, thanks, Snark. Appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, and these guys are engineers, or as they so state, but they're about as much engineers. Well, I mean, somebody's got obviously some maker skills, for making this gyro, but
they're as much engineers as the Earth is flat,
and as Bob Pilot is. So, so that's. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to end this again for about the fifth time now. So there's your challenge. You put that gyroscope up on a scale, show the measurement, spin it up, and show me that it changed in speed with your hands off of it, or show me that it changed in weight by 10%, and I'll delete my channel. But I'm pretty sure.
Here.
I'm pretty much going to get a Bob type response of, well, it didn't work, this time, and I don't know if that's a sufficient enough response for you, and all this other shit when Bob was trying to sell me the personal atmospheric dome. Because, yes, I challenged Bob one time, and Bob lost.
The amount of mental backflips these jackasses have to do to keep a hold of their flat Earth delusion is just amazing.
Yeah, no, it's just it's crazy. I mean, I don't even know if I would be able to sleep with that much dishonesty bouncing around in my head. I don't know if I would be even able to sleep. I really don't.
You gotta think. You actually have this thing called integrity.
I try to.
They sure as fuck don't. Oh, by the way.
Oh.
I got my shit kicked in for saying that before to a flat earther. So let me just say, Bob Jeranism, whoever the fuck the dude is for FECore, prove me wrong on that. Prove me wrong on that right the fuck now. You can demonstrate that to me by admitting that you screwed the pooch on this one. Admit that you were wrong. It's okay to be wrong every now and then. So admit it, and you'll be fine. Or you can double down and demonstrate what I'm saying to be true. Your choice.
But Red, they've already admitted that they're doing it wrong.
Yep, you missed that part.
Okay.
They admitted they do it. Check it out. They admitted that they were doing all this wrong, but then at the same time stating that they're doing it right. See, hold on.
Okay, you're gonna have to run that by me again, but slower.
Let me go ahead and show you this. Their videos say that they are at GPS latitude 48.21 degrees, right? Now they wrote to me, if you wanted 15 degrees on per hour on the z-axis, you would have to tilt the base of the gyro by an amount relative to your latitude, which is correct. But then he says, with this 2-axis gyro would be impossible. Which means he's saying that they can't tilt it on its side. But then they went even further. No worries. We will point. He was saying this to somebody else under one of his videos. No worries, we will point it also to the north in future tests, which means pointing the shaft of the gyro to the north, but still not tilting the gyro assembly to be polar aligned. What do you call it? And then it says 15 degree, even says it 15 degrees an hour on the Z axis would be on the North Pole, meaning that in an upright configuration.
I would just like to explain, since he likes to use the rotational axis of the gyro as its pointing direction, if he points the rotational axis to the north and polar aligns that axis, it will show 0 rotation because that's the rotational direction of the gyro.
Right.
So
now, and then he says, when the plane of rotation is horizontal, which would be at the North Pole, the gyro experiences resistance on the z-axis, which would produce the rotation. So they're admitting that they don't have it set up right. They're backing out of tilting it to the right angle that it's supposed to be in the first place by saying it's impossible to tilt this thing. You know, so they've already basically admitted that they know that they are doing this 100% dishonestly.
Well, you got to think, if they were doing it honestly, they might. Okay, they don't want a repeat of the documentary thing that happened. I'll sum this up in
2 words. That's confidential.
Yeah, they don't want a repeat of that. They don't want more shirts to be made after them. Put that way. That's interesting.
And to ensure that that doesn't happen, to ensure that they don't get corrected. Okay, now they have let like two people who were, I'll say, not globe earthers or not flat earthers. They have let 2 people comment on their thing, and then they offered various responses. But this one took the cake right here. Okay, Flat Earth Perth said, "Love the lack of comment from globers who request science and then ignore that science, the science when it's presented." And FECore responded, "They try, but due to the lack of insight, experience, and qualifications, I am forced," now maybe he means himself, "I am forced to delete most of their comments because I do not want to waste our time having to explain basic gyro 101 stuff."
Yeah, basic gyro 101. You know that thing that can make it possible for you to have a fucking levitating car, you dumbass?
So I'm going to, oh, jeez. I didn't realize I wasn't showing any of that. But what do you call it? But I'm just going to leave this one up here as just the closing. Like I said, the mass of the flywheel creates an almost weightless suspension on the bottom bearings.
You still need to grab, well, do you monetize your live streams?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Just with a you know, one of the opening ads. I don't.
Well, I was actually gonna suggest the outro that I use, but you have to actually get permission for using it on monetized videos.
Nah, fuck that. These guys are dumb enough. They don't need music. The but here, Red, just wanted to show you. This was that actual comment that I was just reading between Flat Earth Perth and FECore. So.
Yeah, due to a lack of insight, experience, and qualifications. Holy fuck, the projection is real. Wow.
It's just crazy, man.
I don't want to have to waste our time having to explain basic gyro 101 stuff, like the fact that I can attach this shit to the top of the car if it was big enough and make the fucker levitate.
Maybe, but no, see, you're getting that wrong, man. You're supposed to actually rotate the car at a high speed.
My apologies. How could I have fucked that up so bad? I didn't know that FECore was such fucking geniuses that they're making cars levitate.
Actually, if you think about it, you have at least 4 gyros on your car, your wheels. So if you get those spinning fast enough, you'll fly.
Why do I not have vertical takeoff?
All right, guys.
Have you been in Tampa traffic? It's shit. Yo, who's this jackass? Who's the jackass commenting right now? FECore. What's his name?
Mike Kavanaugh.
It's probably
Mike Kavanaugh. Hey, listen, bro. Get dude. If you have the secrets to flying cars, contact me, man. I know some people. We can patent the shit out of this. We can sell it to the masses. We can make a lot of money. So if you can, call me, maybe. That'd be great. Or you could, admit that you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, that you were actually projecting in that comment.
So I just wanted to say hi to everybody that's in the chat. I'm sorry I didn't get very much into the chat, but there was just a lot of things to just repeat here. But Ugly German Truths, Jen Morgan, Tommy, I saw Rec in there a little while ago. Ola, of course, Snark, all you guys, man. Oh, geez, My Two Cents was in there. Great. And let's see. Everybody else that was up in there. I didn't see Personal in there, but if she was there, Halusha. And yeah, everybody else that I got, showed up. I really appreciate you stopping by, but that was pretty much all I had.
Why didn't Elon Musk figure this out? The secret to vertical takeoff and landing is not grid fins and rocket engines that have the ability to gimbal. It's fucking gyros. It was gyros the entire time, people.
We're going to have to make a new video instead of doing gravity. We're going to gyros, you fucking idiot.
Okay, get Desert File on the horn.
All right, so ladies and gents, everybody, I thank you all for stopping by, and Reds and Sean, of course. Gio, where the fuck were you? We have a theory about where he was, but
no, it's just a working hypothesis.
Yes, based on observations that are factual, but we won't talk about the wandering pussy in his car. But
well, he's German. His VW's broken down, and he found his neighbor's pussy in his car. I'll just say that.
We'll just put it like that. Yeah.
Should have had gyros.
I want sharks with freaking gyros on them, man.
All I want is sharks with freaking gyros attached to their heads.
All right. So, ladies and gents, appreciate y'all stopping by. You guys, and be sure that, like I said, any flat earthers, feel free to extend my request and my challenge to FECore, just because. And
someone make a shirt that says "Ask me about gyros."
All right, and I gotta get out of here, guys. So, Sean, Reds, appreciate you guys stopping by, and we'll see you again soon.